For beautiful, beautiful. Oh, okay. You can share the images. Okay, that. Thank you. Download that. All right. Excellent. So let me pull up these slides real quick. Share screen. Boom. All right. Keys to Success course visualization. And actually, you know what? I was thinking about it the other day. I don't even know if I'm gonna add this to the Keys to Success course. I think I'll just at the end of the Keys to Success course, I think I will add um a uh a code for a promo code for this course for free. So when you do get the Keys to Success course, I mean, it doesn't matter to you guys. You guys get it all for free anyway. But just sharing my thoughts um, for other people. That way, because some people might, even though I feel it's, I mean, you can't really have much success with visualization without working on concentration and willpower first. I know that there's still going to be some people who they just I mean it takes a lot of self motivation to get through concentration exercises, as you all know. And so some people are kind of adverse to that but still want the knowledge with the visualization, and that's kind of why one of the main reasons why I started teaching on my own is because I didn't where I was teaching at the time. It was like, someone could come to the school and want to learn about maybe they want to learn about meditation. Well, hey, you're gonna learn about meditation, but you at the same time you have to learn about concentration, visualization, astral projection, emotions, life force energy, dreams, all of this stuff. So my part of my purpose was, if somebody just wants to learn about just this thing, just chakras, I can make that possible for them and help them out with that. So in that spirit, I think it is probably best for me to make this a separate option, but I will still have it to be where it's like included with the key success. So if you fully go through the 4 weeks, then you'll get free access to this. So I don't know. I just sharing that thought with you all for some reason. But yeah. All right. So feel free, like as always, with these, feel free to interrupt with any questions that you have. That is part of the major value that you all have as mentees is you get to ask the questions and things live while we're running through the material within this course. Even if, Trisha, you're new, so even if you haven't had a chance to review the previous 3 lessons, that's fine. If you feel like that question that you're wanting to ask may have been answered in the earlier lesson, it doesn't matter. Don't hesitate to ask. So, and also welcome. Glad to have you. That's on lesson one. Glad to be here. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So let us go ahead and dive right in, unless anyone has anything to share or ask before we get started. Just raise a hand, type it in, unmute yourself, and ask. It doesn't matter. All right. Actually, let me open up this chat box here so that in case anyone has anything, I can see it. Get this hair out of my eye. All right. So let's jump right in with a quick review first. So he's success course, 6 steps of visualization. So visualization has 6 steps to it, just like everything else. There are steps towards the process. So visualization, there aren't necessarily 6 steps to visualizing, but turning your visualized image into a manifested reality, that process, there are steps too. So when I say 6 steps to visualization, that's what I'm speaking of, the process that visualization, the process of visualization in manifesting something. Visualizing is just simply seeing an image in your mind, Um, and so, again, to reiterate, visualization is the ability to control your imagination, just like concentration is your ability to control your attention. visualization is your ability to control your imagination. And another refresher here, who all knows what the power of the conscious mind is? Anyone?
I think I do.
Yeah.
To feed thoughts into the subconscious.
That is the purpose, to
Oh,
feed the knowledge.
reasoning, reason. I
Reasoning,
think it's reasoning.
yes. Reasoning
There
is
we
the
go.
power
Yeah.
of the conscious mind, the ability to reason. And do you or anyone else remember what the three keys of reasoning are?
Um, I might. I don't know. I think it's
Okay.
maybe visualization, intuition, and something else. I don't know.
Okay. Well, intuition is the power of the subconscious mind, but you're on to the right track. The three keys to reasoning are memory, attention, and imagination. And so these are the, I mean, these are the these are the first three things, other than the dream course, that I have focused upon sharing and helping people build. I have the memory. If you haven't had it already, there is the PDF of the memory exercise that will help you strengthen your memory. The concentration exercise will help you strengthen your attention, and the visualization exercises will help you strengthen your imagination, thus creating a more stronger, developed, conscious mind. And so then that will allow you to unify with your soul and spirit even more highly. And it will allow you to bring forth the subconscious mind and the superconscious mind to the forefront of your awareness even more effectively. And so this is what we're focusing on here, is with visualization, is the ability to control and be in control of your imagination. And again, why we want to do that is because our thoughts create our reality. Our thoughts are merely images within our mind. And now, we talked about it before, but people who can't have trouble visualizing, I always suggest, as a reminder, I always suggest start out with memory. When you go to do your visualization exercise, first maybe do your memory exercise before that, but then grab one image, maybe from breakfast this morning, or your car ride to work, or a conversation with a friend earlier, and really give your attention to that memory, and really pull to mind what you were seeing, what that, if it was the conversation with a friend, what they were wearing, what they were saying, what you were hearing, the words you were hearing, the emotions that you were seeing them express, the emotions that you were feeling. Were you indoors or outdoors? What did the air feel like in that moment? Smell. What did you smell? What were you doing while you were talking? Just use your memory to really bring that image even more strongly to the forefront of your mind. And so, if you may have trouble creating new images, but you can start with recreating the image of the memory of what you already experienced. And so that will help you to strengthen your mind's ability to create images, because it is a memory, but it is still using your imagination to recreate that memory. And as you're doing that, it'll become easier and easier to visualize. So then after you do that for about 4 or 5 minutes, maybe only 3 minutes, as you continue progressing after a week, maybe you only do it for 1 minute, until eventually you don't need to do it at all. You can go right into your visualization exercise. Um, so again, the purpose of this is that our conscious mind creates these images. And oh wait, you know what? I'm remembering, you guys aren't able to see um, see my mouse, so I got to annotate. All right. So the conscious mind
I was
creates.
able to see your mouth on this one. I mean, not your mouth,
Oh, you
your
were.
mouse.
Oh, you
Yeah.
were. Okay. The mouse moving around. Okay. All right. You can see this pencil moving.
Yes. No,
Okay.
no, I
Perfect.
just see the mouse moving. I know there's no pencil on it.
Oh, okay. Okay. For me, it's a pencil because I'm about to start drawing on here. All right. Hold on. Why is it? Okay. Oh shoot. There we go. All right. I had to get that out of here. All right. Our conscious mind will send thoughts, will plant thoughts into the mental level. Oops. And then from the mental level, you have your thought form here, and the more energy that you feed into that thought. So, like, if I have an image in my mind of, um, $10,000 in my bank account, and I see the image of opening up my phone and opening up my bank app and seeing the balance of $10,343, and I see that the more times that I create that image, and the more amount of time that I spend seeing that image, and the more energy that I input into it, like the more dense it is, the more bright it is, the more emotional energy that I tie to it, then the more dense this thought form is going to become, right? It's going to become more and more dense. As it becomes more and more dense and grows bigger and bigger, it has gravity is going to take hold. It has nothing else it can do but move towards the physical and physicalize. It's gonna slowly start to drop from the mental level to the upper astral to the lower astral, and then in the emotional level, that's when you're gonna feel it. Like we said before, emotions are road signs indicating to you the things that are manifesting in your life. When you are experiencing a positive emotion, it's because a thought form is passing or has just recently passed through the emotional level into the physical. And so, of something that you do want. A negative emotion is the road sign that indicating to you that a thought form has passed or is passing through the emotional level of what you don't want to manifest. And so, one thing that you can do, one of the reasons why we tie emotions to our thought forms, is because not only will it help you to push things out into the physical, these thought forms, it'll also help you pull these thought forms from the mental level, pull them down into the physical level, helping you to manifest them even faster. And then it will also help push them out into the physical. Let me go ahead and erase all this here. All right. Any questions up until this point? All right, beautiful. Okay, so excellent, excellent. Step one. The first step in visualization is a need. Whether it's real or imagined, there has to be a need for you to fulfill. Not a want, a need. So if it is something that you want, you have to find a way to imagine it being a need. For example, $10,000 in my bank account. We stick with that example. $10,000 in my bank account is not a need. If I'm someone who has never had 10,000, say I've never had $10,000 in my bank account. Well, I'm 37 years old. I've survived this long without it. Apparently, I don't need it. You know what I mean? I could have them even if it was an amount of money that I did need. I wouldn't need it in a bank account. So there's not necessarily, it's still not really a need, but there's a way that I can formulate it into a need, meaning I can find a way to attach a need to it. So for my own progression and growth as a soul, as a conscious being, as a spirit, it is a need for me to manifest this in order to understand myself as a creator, in order to continue to progress and grow spiritually and physically. For the other things that I do want to experience and create in my life, I do need more than $10,000. So $10,000 is now the bare minimum need, so that I need it in order to accelerate. So don't just see a need as something of the base minimum to continue to survive. Because one, I need, as a sentient being with full capacity of my conscious mind, imagination separating me from animals, I need to move beyond the level of survival in order to become a full creator, in order to fully manifest my abilities and strengths. So let me see, not so much a question, but it's a lot for me to concentrate on just to get to be able to visualize, which requires me to imagine freely. So that means I can't concentrate. Okay, hold on. Can you explain that a little further, Vi?
Yeah, so it feels like a continuum for me. Like I'm caught up in this vicious circle. Like, so for me to be able to visualize, I have to relax my mind. So I relax my mind so I can visualize, so I can try to let my imagination do what it needs to do, but then I still need to be concentrating on what we're doing. And if I'm doing that, then I can't visualize because I put the brakes on so that I could concentrate. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like you're saying, like in the present moment right now, trying to visualize right now. Yeah, so maybe, do it for a split second to try to put to practice very quickly what you're receiving in the lesson. But then also, yeah, at the same time, okay, put it aside. I'll get back to that and let me continue learning and receiving. And anything you miss, you can always come back through with the recording. But take these things and then later on apply them when you have the time and space to fully give to it. So maybe right after, spend 5-10 minutes visualizing. But yeah, it definitely does take concentration because, like we said, visualization is your ability to control your imagination, control the images within your mind. So, my imagination, we can all imagine all day long. We can daydream all day long, but that's when the imagination is just like in control of what images we're creating for ourselves. Whereas visualization is like, no, I want you to create this image. I want you to create, this house, this color, with this front door, this many windows. When I open it up, it's carpet on the front. No, not carpet. It's hardwood, light dark brown hardwood. No, light brown hardwood. There's a kitchen, huge kitchen, 2 refrigerators, and a big island. No, 3 refrigerators. I'm a hungry no, I'm just playing. But it's telling your imagination exactly what you want it to see. And so the imagination, especially early on, it's used to being wild. It's used to being on its own, not being told what to do. So it's going to want to veer off here and there. So that's where the concentration comes in. Like, oh, no. Come back. Stick back with this house. Don't go off into my grocery list. Come back to this house. Let's image this house. Don't go back to the argument I had earlier. Come back to this house. So it's going to take concentration. It's going to take willpower. That's why we learned those first before we got into this. And so, and ideally you'll want to be practicing both. When you're practicing visualization, you still want to practice a concentration exercise, but it is just, you are increasing your concentration when you're practicing visualization. So, if you don't really have the time or space to do it, or the desire, then just do the visualization exercise. And that is your concentration. Before you were doing the candle flame was your point of focus. Well, now your visualized image is your point of focus, and so, they can be synonymous and all congruent into one. But yeah, as far as like going through the coursework, yeah, once, a need, okay, let me take the main thing that I'm wanting to visualize, like wanting to manifest in my life, and let me see it in my mind and see how I can make it a need. Okay, cool. I kind of had played around with it a little bit. Let me bring my attention back and continue learning. So yeah, that's that, which is still controlling your attention. It's one thing for your attention to go from here to here to here to here to here and be scattered. It's another for you to say, attention, go here. Okay, now attention, go here. Okay, now attention, come back to here. If your attention is moving from one thing to another at every 10 seconds, that's totally different than you telling your attention to move somewhere every 10 seconds. You know, just because the attention is moving rapidly, like, oh, okay, let me go to the image. Okay, let me come back. You know, that's different than, you know, I'm listening and then next thing oh shit, I missed the last 10 seconds because I was off somewhere else. Let me come back. You know, that's different than, okay, let me put this to practice real quick. Okay, great. Let me come back, you know. All right. Any follow-up question or anything? Okay. All right. Yeah. So with step one, you want to find a need. So whatever it is you're wanting to manifest in your life, discover why you need it to happen. Because the more you can become clear of that need, then I mean that's at the root of it all. Because if you have no need for it, then there won't be any energy behind it. There won't really be much, you know, visualization effort put towards it. I mean, it's just not gonna happen because you're not gonna really put anything towards it. The more you can identify the need, then the stronger the energy will go into it, and the more frequently that you will visualize it in order to manifest it. It'll manifest faster. That is the source, is identifying why you need it. Step two is a stimulus. Your visualized image must be activated. You need to be stimulated. And that's why the need comes first, because that need will stimulate you. Once you really identify why you need it, like if I'm just sitting there like, yeah, $10,000, that sounds fun just because it's more than what I have. You know, I'm not really stimulated too much. Maybe because, you know, yes, I could do a lot with it. You know, okay, yeah, $10,000 is more than what I have, so I could do more than what I have. No. I need that $10,000 so that I can, you know, have someone help me edit all of these videos to get them out further, which will help me move my attention and energy to the next coursework on lucid dreaming and then manifestation. I could then have someone help me with finish this lucid dreaming book so that I can get over to the 13 universal laws book that I already have outlined. I can then also use it to further complete my album. I can then use it to also do these other things in my personal life. You know, I need a new car here coming up soon, you know, so I could use that to go towards that on all types of things. Now I'm a lot more stimulated. I have a lot more energy activated because I understand my need. You know, I understand how I will benefit, how my life is going to elevate from that image coming to fruition, right? So when you understand the need, you will become more stimulated. Your image will become more stimulated, thus cultivating and activating more energy to go into it. Because remember, I said, the more attention you give to it, the more energy you put into it, the more dense it's going to become. You know what I mean? And as it becomes more and more dense, it's filling up more space. You know, then it's going to fall out into the physical until it physicalizes, right? So you need to stimulate. You need a stimulus. Oh man, what in the world happened? Where did the rest of my slides go? I messed something up. Okay. All right, one moment. New share. There we go. All right, you guys can see the whole screen again? I hope.
Yes.
All right, we're back on stimulus.
Yeah, everything is clear.
Okay. All right, perfect. James in the house. King James, no LeBron. Don't get him confused.
Yeah, I'm over here multitasking. I definitely just want to suck up the gym. So happy to be here.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, happy to have you. All right, wonderful. All right. So yes, you have to have a stimulus. You know, you have to have something that is going to get your mind moving, get the chitta, the mind substance churning, you know, into formulating an image. Because like we talked about in the earlier lessons, when you create this image within your conscious mind, it is imprinting into the subconscious mind. And then the subconscious mind has its own image. Just like when you take a photo with a camera. Now, I mean, now it's all digital, but it used to be on a negative. And so you have that negative strip, you shine the light through it, and then now you have two images, the negative strip and then the positive image on the paper. Now you have two images. So when you imprint it in your subconscious mind, you then have two images, the image that you still have within your conscious mind, and then the thought form image that is completely separate, that is within the subconscious mind, ready to manifest. And so the more stimulating, the more of a stimulus that you have, and the more stimulated that you are, then the stronger that imprint is impressed. The more water and nutrients that you are feeding into that seed thought form that you are wanting to manifest. So we have a need, and the more clear we are on what our need is, then the more we are stimulated, the more stimulus that we have. Which brings us to 3, desire. The desire, so the stimulus is the imprint. You know, I am in order to pick up this mouse and move it, I need to stimulate the muscles of my hand in order to make it do something. So that stimulus is the action of imprinting that image into the subconscious mind. And then step 3, the desire, that is the energy fueling the fruition of your image. So how much energy you are pouring into it. You know what I mean? Like we talked about with willpower. What fuels your willpower? Your desire. What fuels your desire? Your purpose, which in this instance is your need. You know, your need is your purpose, which will then fuel your desire, thus giving you the willpower to manifest, do the things that you take action on, the ways that you need to in order to manifest your image. But we're only focusing on just the image here. And so the mental work. And so when you have a need that's very clear in your mind, and it stimulates you, it stimulates your mind to activate. Now you have a desire. You are now invested. You are ready to attach yourself to this image, right? You are ready to get all of the energy collected together to formulate something within the mind so that it can then start manifesting, right? So this is step 3, desire. Any questions so far? All right, beautiful, beautiful. So then desire is our 3rd step, which brings us to step 4, an object. Now we have an object. Now we actually have the image, right? So you might have the image in your mind already, in your conscious mind. Okay, so like the $10,000 in my bank account, I see the image within my mind of opening up my bank account and $10,000 is there, and an image of using my debit card to pull the money out or to pay for something, or whatever. I just have the image of the money there. Honestly, me personally, I would suggest imaging instead the things that you're wanting with that money, because money is just an energy. What would that money do for you? Image those things. If it's a goal, then image the end result. Image yourself sharing with your friend, your best friend, telling them the great news, that you achieved this goal. But a lot of people like really understand with visualization through terms of money. So I like to talk about it in that terms to help out. So if that's the image and you understand how you need that, because we're still in the conscious mind here, and that's stimulating you to want to visualize and hold your attention and control your imagination, and then you have a desire to have this, which is your level of desire is going to determine how much energy you're about to give to this. Now, once you stamp that in the subconscious mind, you now have an object. The object is the visualized image of your desire fully realized. So like I just said, see the end result. Don't just you don't want to imagine the process. You don't want to imagine how it's going to happen. If I wanted $10,000 in my bank account, I don't want to limit the universe by telling the universe exactly how it's going to happen. That's going to take longer. You know what I mean? I just want to have the end result fully realized. The $10,000 in the bank account. That's why I said, if you have a goal, just image yourself telling your friend the good news that it's been achieved. Because if in order for you to have that conversation, that means that it has to have happened. Like for instance, last week we were talking and about a trip to Jordan. And it's like, okay, we can go, let's just as in order to help her get to a point of visualizing and really seeing the image in the mind, we visualize the image of going to the River Jordan and putting your feet in there, walking further into the water and things like that. But then afterwards I said, really, you don't even want to do that. We just did that exercise to help you stretch the muscles of your mind. But what you want to do, what would be more effective, is have a conversation with your best friend, telling them the story of the trip. You know what I mean? At brunch, you telling them about your trip you just came back from. Because in order for that conversation to happen, then the other piece had to have happened. The trip had to have happened in order to have the conversation describing how the trip went, right? So that's your desire fully realized. And so that's also why I say, visualizing money doesn't really do much for you, because that's not really your desire fully realized. None of us truly want more money. We want what comes with that. We want the experiences that will provide us. We want the things that produces for us. The money don't do nothing for you. It's the spending it that then what the result of spending it provides is what we want. So we want the end result. So pay attention to that, because that'll really help you get further along. It'll help you with the need, it'll help you with the stimulus, it'll help you with the desire, and then thus creating a stronger object for yourself. So with the object, remember, this is a full immersion. Okay. The object, when I say object, I don't mean the thing you're wanting to manifest. Object means that separate image that is now in your subconscious mind. That is the object. Now, that image is not like a picture. You know what I mean? So a camera, when we use a camera, we're taking a picture of this 3D reality, right? But what we get back from it is not a 3D image, is it? It's a 2D image. It may look 3D. We may even be able to get it, the technology now to get it to pop to where it really looks 3D, but you can look in the image and see the depth. That tree is further away than the people standing in it, but it's still a 2D flat piece of paper. It's still a 2D image. Even if you're seeing it on a screen, that's a 2D screen. This screen is 2-dimensional. Even if I go like this, it's still 2-dimensional. It may look like I'm getting closer and further away, but that screen on there is still flat. So cameras will take a 3D image and manifest a 2-dimensional replication of it. Our visualization, we are taking the thought of the conscious mind and imprinting into the 4D subconscious mind to create the object, the new image. This is a 4th-dimensional image that will then manifest down into the 3D, the 3rd dimension. So our object is that 4th-dimensional thought form. And like I said, it's 4-dimensional. So don't just make it visual. See it, smell it, taste it, feel it. if you make an image that is separate from you, you're not included in it, then you're just creating an image of, I just want to observe this, you know? Like, I just want to observe this, to where that house that you're looking at, you know, you just sitting there. Next thing you know, you doing all type of work, man. It's like, man, Tarak, you know, you type it in the Discord, Tarak, man, I'm doing so great. My visualizations are so powerful, man. The house that I'm trying to manifest, I see it so clearly. So clearly, it's so vivid. I know what color the door is. I know what the mailbox on the front looks like. I've even seen my mailman. And then next thing you know, you're driving with a friend. They cut a corner going to, their uncle's house. And then all of a sudden you see the mailman dropping off mail at the house that you've been imaging. Oh man, I'm seeing it as an observer as I pass on by. Or that $10,000 in the bank account. Next thing you know, I'm watching TV and the character opens up and transfers some money to another character, $10,000 on their phone. Oh my God, I just saw the $10,000 account on my phone. I'm as an observer. No, you want to immerse yourself into the image. Make yourself a part of that object, of that thought form image. What are you feeling when you're experiencing that? When you walk into that house and you see that carpet or those hardwood floors, feel it. Take your shoes off first, spread your toes out and feel that cool hardwood floor. What's the temperature of the air? Feel it on your skin. When you're walking down the hall, rub your finger across the hall. You know what I mean? When you're sitting there doing the image of looking at your phone with the bank account on it, feel the phone in your hand. Feel your phone case. Feel the weight of your phone. Feel yourself sliding your finger across, to slide it open, unlock it. Feel yourself touching the buttons. Feel the air where you're at. Are you sitting down? Feel the chair beneath you. You know what I mean? Are you inside or outside? What does it smell like? You know what I mean? Maybe you like incense, so smell the incense of the aroma of the incense flavor that scent, not flavor that you do, that you have, that you normally put off, or a candle, and really put yourself in, make yourself a part of that object, make yourself a part of that image. Otherwise, you will manifest experiencing it without being a part of it. You know what I mean? You start imaging a certain car you want, next thing you know, you just seeing that car zipping around town all over the place. Or your neighbor buys it. Then you see it every day. It's like, yeah, you were a powerful manifester. You just didn't visualize it right. So make sure you're visualizing it right. You know what I mean? Put yourself into the image, make yourself a part of the image, immerse yourself into it. So we have step 1, a need, step 2, a stimulus, step 3, a desire, and step 4, now we have the object of that desire, which brings us to step 5, light. Oops. Light. Step 5, light. Light is what? Awareness. So the level of awareness and attention the object of your desire holds within your mind. Light. How aware are you? How vibrant is that image? Can you barely see it, or can you really see every detail? You know what I mean? How vibrant is that? How aware? The more light that you have, that is going to determine the quality. How often you see it in your mind is going to determine the quantity. How vibrant and vivid you see it within your mind is going to determine the quality. And quantity and quality both will determine how powerful you manifest. Both will determine how dense that image becomes. Both will determine how much energy you are feeding into that image. Just like when you plant a seed in a garden. If you plant a seed in a garden, just walk away. You just leaving it up to nature. Did you remove some weeds? Did you do anything else? You just put one seed in the ground and then let nature take its course. You're leaving it up to chance. You might end up with, if I put an acorn in the ground, you might end up with an oak tree. You might not. Now, if you put 20 acorns in the ground, you got a lot higher chance that a oak tree is going to be produced. If you put 200 acorns in the ground, you have a really high probability that an oak tree is going to be produced. Now, if you do that, if you plant those seeds in and walk away, that's still kind of letting nature take its course. If you plant those 20 acorns in the ground and you come back every day and make sure you're watering the acorns, make sure you're cutting back the branches of any other trees so that sunlight can get to it, then you are really putting forth as much effort as you can to ensure that those seeds that you have planted have as much attention and energy and nutrients that they could possibly need in order to grow and come to fruition and sprout out and become a tree. Now, if you plant 200 acorns and you come in and water them and make sure they have plenty of sunlight and give them all the nutrients that you could possibly can, put some fertilizer on the ground. I mean, the chances, I mean, you're going to have at least one oak tree. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when at that point, and that's a totally different outcome than if you just plant the one seed and walk away, right? So the amount of light is going to determine the quality, and that quality is going to be determine how strong of a thought form that is. How strong, just like light when you're doing a photograph. You guys ever seen like photographs that are underdeveloped or overdeveloped, overexposed or underexposed? You can't really see the image too well. It's not good quality. It isn't a good quality photo. When you want real photo, like people getting married aren't calling Tarak to come take pictures of their wedding. What I mean? They're calling somebody who does it all day, every day because of the quality. They don't know if they're going to get a good photo if Tarak shows up. You know what I mean? They want to make sure that they get a good photo. So they're wanting the quality because the quality is going to determine what the outcome is. So your light, how well you're able to really see that image in your mind, how well you are able to immerse yourself, how well you are able to feel that image, how well you are able to taste it. I mean, all of this is the light. How well are you able to sense it, experience it? How well are you able to experience this image, this object of what you're wanting, this end result? The amount of light that you put into it is going to determine this. And that's why it's step 5. Because you can't put more light into something if you don't have an object. If you have a void and light a match, you won't see anything because there won't be any, other than the source of light, you'll see the source of the light, but you won't see anything because there won't be any objects for the light to bounce off of. If you're in a very massive room and you go to, light a match, you're still not going to see anything because there's nothing for it to bounce off of. If you have things within the room, if there are objects there, then the light can bounce off of it and you can then see the objects. So you can't put light before the object. You can't put the light, you can't see something if you haven't understood the desire and stimulus and need, need, stimulus, and desire. So then once you actually have that image of what you truly need for yourself, then the more light that you can bring to it, the more attention that you can bring to it, because light is attention or awareness. The more attention that you can bring to it, then the stronger that thought form will be. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay, beautiful. So if I have an image, oops, get this out of here. There we go. So if I have an image of $10,000 in my bank account, and it's in my mind, and then I imprint an image, and I have a new image, a new object within the mental level, and I'm attaching my emotions to it, so it's pulling it down to the emotional level, right? Well, I've taken an image within my conscious mind, I've imprinted it into my subconscious mind, and I now want it to physicalize into a manifested reality in the physical realm. Well, if I want to do that, if I want to pass that off from the subconscious mind, from the astral, from the inner, from the non-physical to the physical, if I want to pass that off from the non-physical to the physical, what do I have to do? What's the last step? If I'm playing football and I want to pass the ball off from where I'm at to my receiver in the end zone, I got to spot him. I got to find him, determine the trajectory. I got to get my stance right. I got to pull back. And what's the last thing that I do? Release. I got to let go of the ball. If I don't release and let go of the ball, it ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? So you have to release. This is one of the biggest steps in visualization. You have to let go. If you're sitting there creating this image and you're visualizing all the time and you're really wanting it, it is a strong need. You have a very strong desire. You can see it plain as day. But you can't let it go, then it will never be able to physicalize. Because you can't pass it off from the subconscious out into the physical reality without first letting it go from your subconscious so that it can materialize. You have to let go. You must let go of your image to allow it to manifest. You must. Otherwise, you're going to keep on holding on. It's just going to keep on getting stronger and stronger energy. Exactly. Surrendering. It's just going to keep on building up stronger and stronger energy. I remember when I was at the School of Metaphysics, and I moved down here to Louisville to teach here and was the director of the school here. And me and my area director and the teachers, the other teachers that were there that I was directing, we all had a very clear image because we created it collectively, and we continue to put attention to it, shared it with the students. All of us as a body collectively had this strong image of there was a tree that was kind of splitting that we needed to remove. We wanted to remove that. We wanted a all new like siding and stuff, and we wanted the driveway in the back. There was a long driveway in the back with a little spot where you could park 3 cars. But the students would like park the 3 cars and then all along the driveway and then into the grass. Well, on the grass to this side and the whole big section of grass that we were parking on this side, we wanted to expand the driveway from a little long driveway into 3 spots to like pretty much a mini parking lot back there where you could literally park like 10 cars. And I mean, for like 2 years, we put so much attention and energy into all 3 of those things, and none of them ever came to fruition. But I left the school and to teach on my own. Shortly after, within like 3 months, the area director, he also left, and then a couple of the teachers went to other places. Then they shut down the branch here in Louisville, and so they sold the building, and the people who bought it within 2 or 3 months. I drove by there one day, the tree's gone, the new siding's up, and I look back in the back and they have the driveway paved out exactly how we had it designed for ourselves. I mean, it was every single thing that we were wanting to manifest was now manifested because none of us could let the shit go. But as soon as it's like, you know what, I'm not a part of this no more. I'm over here. And then everybody else who was attached to it all left in their own directions. And so, of course, we let go of that because we're now trying to manifest other things for ourselves. And so that image had so much energy in it. It just boom, instant manifestation. It was wild. But I refer to that often for myself whenever I'm having trouble letting things go. And so it really helps. It really helps because as along with that analogy, you can understand the power of letting it go. So how do you do that? Especially when it's something that you really have a strong, you already went through all these steps. You identified why you need it, not just want it, why you need it. You know what I mean? You've stimulated the energy and the mind. You've stimulated your mind towards it. You've created a very strong desire. You can see it, you can feel it, you mean you can smell it, you can taste it, and it's vibrant, it's vivid. Once you've done all that, how can I let it go after I've done all of that? You know what I mean? The key that I've found in letting it go is to have multiple things that you are creating. You know, if I'm over here fully immersed in this with you all and teaching through this coursework, and then I turn around and go to the studio for 6 hours. I mean, in order for me to give my full attention to the studio, I have to let this go. You know what I mean? And then I come home and start continuing to manifest the things that I want for my personal life and my family. You know, I've completely let go of everything that was going on at the studio. I mean, and then I go to work and I have my goals and desires that I have at work, and the success that I want to achieve there, and the abundance I want to achieve there. In order to give it my full attention, I have to let go of whatever's going on with my family and everything. I can address it after work. At the studio, I can address it next time I'm at the studio. With the course here and your all questions and things, I can address it when I'm off work. You know, and then once I'm done with work, I'm clocked out. I'm done. I'm done. I need to let it go. And so how do I let it go? Give my attention to some other creation. Bring my attention back to the mentees and to the coursework, you know, making some more videos or editing these things, you know. And so sometimes I get carried away and have too many creations, have to dial things back, which is what I've kind of done. I spent a few months dialing almost everything back. And then now beginning to more consciously controlled expansion into just a few things, because I was getting pretty out there with things, and I still have these other creations like the TV show and short film that we're doing that I just can't give it a lot of attention and energy. It's too much for right now. But essentially what I'm trying to say is have multiple creations, have multiple things that you're trying to achieve, you know. And it could just be as simple as two. You don't have to have multiple, like a lot of things like me. It could be two. You know, just make whatever you do for work or what producing a means to sustain and enjoy life. Have that, and then your personal. You know what I mean? And then jump from one into the other. And when you're engaged in one, fully let go of the other. And then when you jump back to the other, fully let go and release the other. If you're sitting at work and you're thinking about your personal life problems, be like, oh, wait. Step 6. Not only is it best for me to let this go so I give my full attention to what I'm doing right now, if I want the solution to come, I need to let it go in order for the solution to come. So I really need to give all my attention to what I'm at. And so thus, we're seeing even more so than just what I mentioned in the very beginning. We're seeing even more why concentration is so vital, so that you can isolate your attention to the object of what you're currently experiencing and engaged in. Let's see. OMG. Good. Surrendering, yes. Makes perfect sense when you think about it. Absolutely. Kind of counter to what we learn in church about praying without ceasing. Exactly. You gotta let it go. You know, you have to detach from it in order to allow it to manifest on its own. You've done the work, you've put the energy in, let it go. You know what I mean? If I sit there, it's like if I plant that seed in that acorn, I planted the seed, I put some fertilizer down, I watered it, and now I'm digging it up to see if did it do anything yet? Nope, it's still an acorn. Plant it back, put the fertilizer on, put some water in it, wait 10 minutes. Okay, now did it do anything? Let me dig it up. I mean, what are you doing? Let it go. Let it do its own thing. Let it start growing on its own. Come back later and give it a little more attention and energy. And then leave it for the day. Come back later and water it again. You know what I mean? Definitely working on a lot too. So I understand. Good. I hope this helps you to kind of compartmentalize things and your energy into them. Would you say release goes hand in hand with staying present? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I was talking about when I meant we can see even more how concentration is vital to this visualization. Because, like I was saying, if you're at work, you need to let go of what's going on in your personal life. When you're clocked out, you need to let go of trying to find a solution for work. Let work handle that when you're at work. You know what I mean? And when you're at home, be present. Be present with what you're currently experiencing, you know, because that also is then going to put you more in tune with the subconscious mind. The more present that you are, then the more in tune the conscious and subconscious is going to be. The more in tune your physical body and your soul are going to be. Then the more in tune and aligned that they are, then the more in tune and alignment that they can be with the spirit. Because remember this big line right here. I mean, this big line right here is indicating that this is whole amongst itself, and these are two halves to one whole. You know what I mean? So once you get these two halves to unify into one whole, then you can get them to attune and line up and align with the superconscious. Thus, that's when you have, what's called the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? You're able to bring that spirit out into the physical. Out, it can express and come out into the forefront of your being. And then your spirit can shine through. You know what I mean? So yes, being present is vital to all of this. To our superconscious mind a part at all? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the superconscious mind, the feminine is the receptive, holding the blueprint for your existence. So that's the blueprint. This has all of the things that you're going to want your images to line up with. This blueprint. And the more in tune and aligned with that blueprint that you are, then you have the aggressive, you know what I mean? The masculine aspect of the superconscious mind, the masculine quality of the superconscious mind. And the masculine principle of the superconscious mind is to feed life force energy out into the rest of the mind. You know what I mean? So when you have a thought of fulfilling your purpose, of doing something that is in alignment with that blueprint, you have that stimulation. You get inspired, inspiration, spirare, spirit. You get inspired to do it. You have the energy. All of a sudden, the energy to take up the task, to take action upon it, is inside of you. You ever had that idea that even though you may have been tired an hour ago, but that idea just comes to you to where you spring into action right now? Nobody else might be awake, and so I can't really do too much with what I'm wanting to do, but I'm gonna get started on something. Let me start researching it or doing something. You know what I mean? Makes me think of when I was when I first tried astral projection the very first time. It was a long time ago. I had this book, right? And I think I've shared it with you all before, and I've shared it in videos for certainly, and it's on YouTube. I had this book that someone gave me that talked about the first part of the book talked about like Jesus and what he was doing in between when he went to Egypt and then before he came back and started teaching in Israel. And then the second part of the book talked about hand chakras and how to open them and use them to heal yourself. And the third part of the book talked about astral projection. Well, I when I first read it, I was like, okay, I'm open to try this healing the hand chakras. And then I did and healed myself of like these insane ailments that I had for years within 30 days. And then I was like, but this astral projection stuff, I don't know about that, man. I ain't ready for that, man. I don't know. I ain't trying to open myself up to no demons. And that's the thoughts that I had, And so then a couple months later, I realized, you know what? I've learned a lot more. I'm a lot further. I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. So I did the technique that was said in it. And so it was like 2 a.m. and I'm tired. I do the technique within like 3 minutes. I feel my feet leaving out my body. and I jump up right away, like because a thought comes to my mind, a question comes to my mind. okay, what if I want to come back before my astral body is ready to come back? How do I get back then? And I already read that book, so I know the answer's not there. I don't know of anywhere else to have found that answer. And so I jumped up and I was like, I need a teacher. And now at that moment, I was ready for a teacher, right? Because at the time, I was just teaching myself. I was learning myself. I would get a book, read it, and along reading that book, I'd have like 3 more subjects of things I want to study. So I'd be ordering 3 more books to come. By the time I'm done with that book, boom, onto that book. So I'm like learning myself and teaching myself. Paying sometimes. I mean, some of these books I paid like $100+ for these books because it's like some rare book that ain't been published since 1930 and only one person selling it, type thing. And so, um, but at that time, I'm like ready for a teacher. And that thought was in alignment with the super conscious mind. And I had the one book that I shared with you all, the Book of Secrets, right? I've been reading that, and it was, I mean, still to this day, it's my favorite book of all time, not even close to any other book. Not even close. Like I would take that book over all the other books in the world. Like that one, I would take that one over all the other ones combined. But anyways, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have that person be my teacher. And I jumped up. I mean, I couldn't go find him right then, but I was dog tired just 2 seconds ago. Now I'm wide awake researching on how to. I'm sitting there looking around my apartment. Okay, I can sell my truck and everything in my house and get a ticket to India, to the ashram where he's at. But turns out, 5 minutes into my research, find out he died in like 98 or something like that. he was in India, got arrested. They came in and arrested him, and then he died 2 days later in police custody. But anyways, can't be teaching too much knowledge uh in the 90s, 70s and 80s. But anyways, um so I was saying all of that just to say, when you have a thought that is in alignment with that blueprint, the aggressive part of the superconscious mind will stimulate and give you the energy needed to take action upon it. What's the name of those books? Book of Secrets by Osho. And so, how does the superconscious mind play into that? Well, um, the more in alignment with that blueprint for your soul, the more in alignment with your soul's purpose that your object is, then the more you're going to understand your need. It's going to be a stronger need, which will have a stronger stimulus, which will have a stronger desire, which will have more energy attached to it. You will be able to see it more vividly and vibrantly. And then it's probably going to be even harder to release then. But if you have multiple things that you're creating, then that's how you kind of let things go and release. You know, it's like juggling. If you have multiple things that you're creating, it's like juggling. You can't be successful at juggling unless you let something go. So I'm juggling 5 things, but I'm only holding on to 2 at any one time. You mean the rest are in the air? I've let them go. Then I've recaught them and let it go. Catch it, put my attention on it, let it go. Put my attention on it, catch it, let it go. Put my attention on it, catch it, let it go. And so continue that cycle, you know. Beautiful. Any other questions? Beautiful. So we've had a couple of exercises on visualization throughout this course. And one was utilizing your memory and the memory exercise. The other is the flower exercise, getting a flower, a tulip or a daisy, ideally, and putting your attention on it, seeing it with your eyes, then seeing it with your mind, then closing your eyes and only seeing it with your mind until it fades away. Then open your eyes. I mean, hopefully you aren't super hard squinting like I am right here. But and then open your eyes to refresh the image within your mind, then close your eyes until it fades. Open your eyes to refresh the image, then close your eyes. Do that as often as you need to for 10 minutes. And then I also talked about picking something off of your 10 most wanted list. We have the 10 most wanted list also. And then we talked about picking something off that 10 most wanted list and visualizing that for 10 minutes every morning and every night. Now you will want to take those things and this is for someone who has, if you've kind of skimmed through the concentration lessons and skimmed through the visualization, or you didn't really put all the effort towards them up to this point, this eighth course now, then be sure to do those things before you do this exercise. But if you've been someone who has been now at 8 weeks minimum, practicing concentration every single day for 5 to 10 minutes a day, strengthening your willpower, now doing some sort of practice of visualization for 4 weeks now, you are ready for the secret room. And this is an ancient technique where you will create a space within your mind that is only for visualizing. Now, how do you do that? You will need all of the, I say you will want to be someone who has done all of those things, because you will need all of those tools sharpened to a certain degree in order to be successful with this. And if you haven't done that, then this exercise won't really be of any benefit for you, and it may end up being a detriment to you. So there is a level of responsibility in me sharing this, but I share it with the disclaimer that you'll be totally fine if you've done the work to strengthen these tools to a certain degree. I mean, 8 weeks of concentration isn't really that much. I mean, I went without missing a day like 2 to 3 years before I missed my first day of a concentration exercise. So, 8 weeks isn't a lot. It is easily doable. And then 4 weeks of this visualization exercise. Even if the visualization exercise replaced your concentration exercise, that's fine. You should be to a level strong enough to be able to do this. And so you will create within your mind a specific space. And so intention, energy moves off intention. So your intention is what is going to determine the formulation of this space, the formation of this particular space. And it will have a particular door that you will create in your mind, because doors are, like we talked about with James' dream just before we hopped on here, and we talked about before in dream interpretation, interpreting other people's dreams and things, and going through symbols. A door allows you access from one place to another, and places in dreams are states of mind. So a door allows you to move from one state of mind to another, right? Adjacent. So if I go from being angry to being at peace, that's going to be a lot of shifts. I'm going to move through the first door from anger into being irritable, or upset, and then move from upset into a new space of irritable, from irritable to being, calm, from calm to being at peace. So I went through 4 doorways, or I could jump through that's why a portal represents a major shift. If I'm just able to go from angry to elation, I've jumped through a portal, essentially. You've made a major shift in your mind. But anyways, you're going to have a specific doorway, because it's going to symbolize that you are shifting into this state of mind of creative manifestation. And so it's going to activate your mind in a particular way if you save this space. And it's a dark room, like a black room. Imagine a room with no walls, it's a void. And when you enter into this room, you want to make sure that you are at peace. Maybe do your memory exercise before you do this, and do a concentration exercise before you do this, and then do a small breathing exercise before you do this. And once you've done those 3 things, then pull to mind the door that you have specifically generated in your mind for this room. Walk through the door, close it, make sure you close it, turn around, enter into the room, create your visualization, immerse yourself into the image, spend as much time and give as much energy as you would like to it. And then, as part of letting it go and releasing it, see the image fade away, turn around, walk back to the door, open up the door, walk out, close it, make sure it's fully shut, and turn around and walk away, then open your eyes. And that is the exercise you will want to do. And that will help to greatly accelerate the things you're wanting to manifest within your life. All right, any questions? Any thoughts? Comments?
Yes, I got one.
Yeah. You're
So
welcome,
for
Bob.
me,
Mhm.
the first time you was explaining this, the first thing I did was anytime I closed my eyes, I always imagined myself inside of a black void, completely black, nothing around me at all. So then
Yeah.
first I visualized the door right in front of me. So then I walked through that door. And after I walked through that door, everything was all white. And after everything was all white, I'm seeing all these images, like sort of like memories that I had that I already experienced, that I've been experiencing. So I just put all those memories to the left side of me, and then I created a hallway right in front of me. And then I walked down that hallway, and inside of it there was a long staircase going down, and on every floor there was about 10 doors. So that's something that happened with this. And when the second time you told me to imagine this, I was imagining it. Yeah, I was imagining it, and well, yeah, I just did everything you said. Nothing out of the ordinary happened. It's just the first time it was a little weird because I saw all those images and stuff, but then I realized that was my mental state. But I don't think I could have just accessed it that easily. Maybe I just got a quick glimpse of it, something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wanted to say one more thing. If you like, what if you're saying an affirmation in real life to help you achieve your manifestations? What if you end up saying that in a dream? Do you know what that signifies?
Yeah, it signifies that you are saying it enough times. So keep it up.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow! Oh, that
When
was
it
that
when
was
it
it.
infiltrates your dream, that's how you know it has incepted itself into your mind.
Mhm. Wow,
But
that's great.
also remember when you're saying these affirmations,
Uh huh.
don't just see the words in your mind. You know, with so for example, do you mind sharing one of your affirmations?
Yes, the affirmation that I was saying was because we have two basketball teams, and I wanted to make the basketball team so I can be able to play. And that affirmation was, I will be in the varsity team. I will be in varsity. I will be in varsity. I will be in varsity. Every time I say it like 10 times, I have a quick image of my coach telling me that I'm inside of it. And then I get all excited. I jump around. I tell my friends, I told you I'll get inside of
Yeah,
it and stuff like that.
nice. Nice. So as you're saying it, be sure to that image that you created, be sure to see that image. So it sounds like you're already doing it. Perfect. Perfect.
Uh huh.
Beautiful. Which is probably why it's incepting itself into your dreams.
Oh,
Beautiful,
yeah.
because you're
Uh,
doing it right.
yeah, I
Awesome.
was kind of surprised that first day. Oh my gosh, I had such a strong desire to get
Yeah.
this done. My goal was straight up for that day to have it be said 4,000 times, not 1,000, not 2,000, not
Beautiful.
4,000 times.
Wow.
I was saying it all day from the
Nice.
time I woke up to the time I went to sleep.
Nice.
So I think the way I was actually able to stay inside of my dreams was as I was falling asleep, I was starting to immerse myself into that image where my coach told me I made the team. And while I immersed myself inside of that image, I lost consciousness just a little bit because I wasn't fully concentrating on it because my awareness shifted back to my physical body. And for that split second, I became unconscious. And because of that, I fell asleep into a dream. And in that dream, I was saying that affirmation over and over and over again. And I wasn't even aware of it
Mm.
until like 5 minutes later. Then
Okay.
after those
Yeah.
5 minutes, I got super excited because for one, I realized it was a dream, and for two, I was trying to cultivate that emotion inside of that affirmation because I had a strong desire to have it happen. So I
Mhm.
woke up real quick after I realized that.
Yeah. That brings to mind a good point that I'm so glad you brought up because I meant to mention it. when we were talking about release.
Uh-huh.
So as far as what you're saying, slipping off into consciousness, that's where the light comes in. The unawareness, awareness. That's where the light is going to come in. Now, with that, another amazing way, tremendously amazing way to release is to make the time of your visualizations be not just when you go to bed, but as you fall asleep.
Mm.
That is the most powerful time to visualize because of because of the brainwave pathways, and then the connection. It's a moment when you're already shifting between conscious and subconscious, so the connection between the two is also powerful. But then also it ensures that whatever energy you put into that visualized image, that object, it then gets released, because you eventually fall into a dream. Even if you move straight into a dream, eventually at some point you're going to let go of that and be immersed in the dream. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it is a very powerful time. That's why, you've heard me suggest it many times to visualize these things right as you're falling asleep.
Yes, I heard you say that plenty of times to so many different people.
But this is why these mechanics. I meant to bring that back up and then got carried away and forgot.
That's all good. I mean, you brought it up now.
Yeah,
so.
I appreciate you for mentioning that. But yeah, you're doing it right. You're doing it right. Keep it up. Keep it up.
I also wanted to know what does working out in a dream means, because I got that recently one time, and also I bought a new house in a dream. Messing with some water and stuff, painting the house. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so let's start with working out. What do you think? What do you think working out represents?
I'd say it may represent two different things. The first one, probably being in a productive manner, in a productive way. Just you're thinking or you're doing more things to become more productive to benefit yourself. And the second thing is, I'd say it represents also discipline, because oh my gosh, I'll say that may represent discipline.
Well, when you're working out, what is it that you are producing?
I am producing a better and healthier body for myself. That's what I say. I think.
What part of your body?
What part of my body? My physical body.
Yeah, what part of it? What workout were you doing in the dream? What workout were you doing?
I was doing push-ups.
Push-ups. Why does someone do push-ups?
To build stronger muscle in the biceps.
To build stronger muscles. And so, how do muscles relate to the consciousness?
You have different types of muscles. Like you got your conscious muscles. Exactly. Mental muscles. That's what I was looking for. Concentration, visualization, willpower. I don't know. That's muscle.
Memory. Yeah, it is. It's
memory.
Muscle. Yeah.
Yep. Got all the good ones.
Absolutely. And so that's what working out in a dream is going to represent. You're strengthening these mental muscles. Then we had a dream last week. I was told I'll own a house as well. Beautiful. So that brings us into a house. What did you say you did with the house?
So when I first went into the house, the first thing I did was went into the bathroom, turned on some water. It was nice. And then after that, me and my brother went into the living room and started painting the walls. So
what's that? You're upgrading, right?
Upgrading, yeah.
Yeah. But what was the first thing you said? You had a dream about a house, and you said you did what? You bought.
Yep, I bought
a new house.
Oh, bought. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you bought a new house, is what you said, right? So how do you buy a house? What do you need to buy a house?
You give value you just give money.
Money. And money is value, like you said. So and what's a house?
A daily conscious state of mind. Just your daily state of mind.
And so not only are you seeing more value in your everyday waking consciousness, but you are also upgrading it. right? You're also
Okay.
making it better. You're also giving it more value. You're doing things to improve it.
Oh, yes. So much.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're seeing
Mm.
how this upgraded consciousness is also allowing more life experiences to flow. You went into the bathroom and turned on the water. It's helping you to let things go.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. That is so true.
Yeah, because you were in the bathroom, release, letting things go.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
I
And so
completely.
Trisha, with you, Trisha, I was told I'll own a house as well. That makes me think of how I'm always saying, if you do not become a master of yourself, you always be a slave. If you do not learn how to master your mind, you'll be a slave to your mind. If you do not learn how to master your emotions, you'll be a slave to your emotions. If you do not learn how to master your body, you'll be a slave to your body. And so that ownership is becoming a master. So you are seeing within your dream how you are beginning to evolve into learning how to master yourself, your own consciousness. Beautiful, beautiful. What were you about to say? Something else, Cass? I just wanted to touch on that before we moved on to anything else, since it related to the house.
Yeah. I was just about to say one more thing that I was super excited to share today was that I finally saw aura for my first time ever
Nice.
since I started practicing that exercise you said for 2 months. I finally saw it. I saw my teacher's aura, and hers was light blue, very light blue. And so I was
Nice. Beautiful.
very happy and excited for that. Very happy.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Man,
Oh
look at all
yeah,
these
and I
people we got
you know
now.
what? Well, hold on, let me see. Ooh, this is a lot of people.
Yeah. It's growing. It,
Mm-hmm.
it grew over time.
Yeah.
Man, for a split second, I thought maybe I didn't hit the recording.
I mean, ooh.
It's a super exclusive, never to be done again. Nah, nah, I got it recorded. Yeah, Santana, what's going on?
Hey, Karak. So can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to recap on, because I came in late. I wanted to, I've been struggling with willpower and distraction. I stay in a very, very lively house with my mom and all of her kids, and I'm very distracted. My energy is scattered. So I wanted to know, regarding to the 6-step visualization, would I need to enact willpower to like stay on course with everything, or what do
Absolutely.
you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, um, like I shared in the Key Success course with willpower, one of the best ways to begin strengthening willpower is as you are moving through towards things you are already doing and going to do, say out loud, I will brush my teeth. When your alarm goes off, instead of hitting snooze, turn off the alarm and say, I will get up out of the bed and start my day, and do it. You know, when you when you're sitting there thinking to yourself like, I should probably go do a little workout today. Instead of just thinking it, say it out loud. I will do a workout today after work or whatever it is. But really say out loud and invoke it. I will do this. I will do that. And then remember, what fuels your willpower is your desire. And what fuels your desire is your purpose. And your purpose is your personal benefit, how you will personally benefit from something. And your greatest form of benefit are the understandings that you will build through achieving what you're wanting to achieve. So, being in the household that you're currently in, it does formulate distractions, but this is a perfect laboratory, right? This is a perfect laboratory for you to practice this, because these are just like minor distractions, really, where you can practice using your willpower and strengthening your willpower to overcome the distractions, the distractions that are now obstacles between you and what you want to achieve. And then practicing it in this controlled environment that you now have in this household, it will allow you to understand the mechanics of how you do that and how you go through that process, to where then in bigger, greater things, when larger distractions come up, distractions within your mind, when larger obstacles come up in your life, major life events, it will be easier to get through those because you will have already practiced with these smaller distractions and obstacles.
Okay, that makes sense. I have not thought about it like that.
I mean, that's what being a metaphysician is all about, being a scientist about it, so that you can take your findings and research and apply it to the real world.
Okay, and that's pretty much it. Can I see the first two slides? I did want to
Yeah.
take a picture of them.
Oh, wait, take a picture of my slides. Hold on. No, I'm playing. Of course.
Just for my notes.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'm just messing around, man. I do joke too much. Oh, wait, hold on.
I think it was the not the visualization, but the first two
Man, what the heck? Okay, here we go. So I'm pretty sure you're.
it was step 1 and step 2.
Yeah. Let's say I'm pretty sure you're not talking about this slide or this slide. Those are the first two slides. Here you go. No, I'm playing. Step 1.
Okay, I got that.
All right. And step 2.
Okay, thanks, Rob.
You're welcome. You got step 3, 4, and 5, and 6.
Okay, I may not have 3.
Okay, hey, let's get them all just to be sure.
I think V said step 5.
You get 3? I'm just gonna go through
Yeah.
them all. We're gonna do them all just to make sure. You know what? That is one thing I should probably do. Take all of these slides and put them into a PDF and put that available also. Yeah. Just what I need. Some more work on my plate to do. All right, step 5. And then step 6. Oh, ha. I didn't even see this from other people. Can I get 5? I missed 5. Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Tarak.
Yes.
So I actually, I gotta go in a minute, but I wanted to just get a little insight on something that I was thinking about. So, I've been here, for a few months now, and sort of, for the first like 6 weeks, I was doing the flame and also the visualization with like my money plants, which was good. But now I've sort of just focused on sort of throughout the day, whenever I can, just focusing on my third eye. Just focus on and sort of that's what I've sort of been trying to do. But as I sort of my question to you is, what I want to incorporate is sort of an actual outside of the dream journal, an outside journal, sort of to write down affirmations or whatever it may be. But my question to you is, do you have any feedback or advice about how to incorporate writing into how we, maybe another tool to use when it comes to, implementing some of these, visualization and all the rest of the sort of tools? Because that sort of that dream I had the other day, that's sort of what I'm sort of getting from. It's kind of like, I'm already going to go back through the course, just because I think that every time I go back through the different videos, it's always something else I pick out. But when it comes to actually like sort of actual projecting, lucid dreaming, I know that I'm still having to focus on willpower and sort of some of those tools. So
Yeah.
I'm going to sort of use this as another avenue to strengthen some of that.
Absolutely. So first on using writing to help you. I would what I would suggest is when you go to visualize, write down your visualized image. Write down the aspects that you want to incorporate into that image. And then do your exercise, do your technique, whichever one you choose to do, or however many different ones you incorporate into one. And then after you're done, write down again. Write down the image along with the things that were added to it, right? Because I'm sure whatever you write down beforehand, when you actually go to image it, there will be more. And if I mean you'll even if it doesn't develop on its own, strive to do that. Strive to immerse yourself even deeper into it. Find more details, greater details of that. You know, if you're writing down I'm wearing a green shirt, you know, and then you go to image it, not only see a green shirt, see the logo on the shirt. You know what I mean, find some way to immerse yourself even more into it, see more of the image, experience more of the image. And then once you're done, write it out again. You know, like I think you mentioned about being an entrepreneur and things and these different businesses and not only what it will afford you, but how it will allow you to affect the people in your life. You know, as you're doing the writing and then you're doing the imaging and then you're doing more writing, you're going to eventually create such a clear, vivid image that it would be easy for anyone else to see. Kind of like if I told you a story of you know, the short film we're doing is about this detective that's retired, and there's this new detective that he has to kind of like show around, but then there's like this robbery, and it turned like they're trying to figure out the robbery and the source of it and everything, but it turns out the young detective was a part of it the whole time. And at the very end, the old detective has to arrest the young detective, and that's like the last thing he does before he retires, right? And it's like this shocking reveal that it's one of the detectives that ended up doing the robbery, right? Well, then the old detective, he's, you know, just seeming like he's distraught about it, goes home, starts talking to his wife, tells her about the day. She, you know, goes and, you know, warms him up some food. He goes down into the basement, and you see that he has all of the money. So the old detective framed the young detective, so it's like a double reveal, right? Now I just shared with you the plot of that story, and you can understand, you can kind of see it in your mind. But if I go into such full detail of the clothes that they're wearing, the words that they're saying, the way that they are expressing those words, and I put that in image form, then it would be very easy for anyone to click and turn on that show and program, and everyone can experience and see the exact same image. That's how clear it is. You know, so that's the difference. You know, so if you like the other night, a month or so ago, when you were on here sharing with us that image, you know, of what you see for your life, that's like what I told you, the synopsis of the story. But through doing this, writing down before you visualize, and then visualizing, and then writing down what you're seeing after you visualize it, you know, because you're going to write down what this felt like, you know, what the walls felt like, the temperature of the air, was it windy, you know, who all was there, you know, and when you're writing, it's going to become so much clearer for you that it'll be able to, you'll be able to replay it over and over, the exact same image, right? Just like that program, once we get it fully developed, you could press play and watch it over and over again and notice new details every time until you know it in and out, through and through.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, so definitely, I'm definitely going to incorporate that. And you know, and just in general, you know, one thing I like about sort of your course and sort of your style is sort of like it's a lot of utility behind it. You know, it's sort of like you can get on here
Yeah,
and apply this not only to your dreams, but sort of just all aspects of your life.
exactly.
You know, and sort of like,
Exactly. Because I mean, without that, what purpose is there? I mean, other than that, I'm a talking head.
well, it's a lot, it's a lot out there, you know. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
different, you know, people, you know, fighting for your energy. But I definitely, you know, throughout this and sort of ultimately staying present, where it comes back to being present, sort of being releasing. It's like when I'm in the present, whether I'm eating, riding in the road, or whatever, I'm trying to, like you said, actually doing it physical as well, and more saying, how am I feeling? What am I smelling? Because I know with me, since you know, if you're not really doing that in the physical realm, it's tough to then go into the astral realm, or to even implement any of these if you're not doing it physically. So, you know, that's something I just wanted to share, and also just, you know, thank again, because this is very insightful. You know, it's
Yeah.
a lot here, but you know, I definitely appreciate you breaking this down. You know,
Yeah. Thank you. No problem. I'm pulling up something real quick because you mentioned you're putting your attention on your third eye. Um, okay, I can't find an image, a video image of what I'm wanting to. Actually, you know what? You know when you let out the water in a sink or a tub, and that funnel going down the
yeah, I'm
spout, the
following.
drain,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is the shape and the way that the energy transforms within your chakras. So your brow chakra has like a funnel. It'll spin this way for energy, non-physical or physical energy to turn into non-physical energy to turn into physical energy. It'll turn this way for non-physical energy or physical energy to turn into non-physical energy. So spinning one way pulls energy in, spinning another way gives energy out, right? And you want to see it like that funnel vortex spinning. And the brow chakra is blue, like indigo blue, or indigo. Sorry, blue is the brown, but indigo is kind of, it's like a bluish purple. But indigo is what you want to see, an indigo vortex of energy spinning just like that drain. You know, it's almost identical to it. And so when you're, I just want to share that with you, because when you are giving your attention to your brow, I would start visualizing that and start incorporating that visualized moving image within your mind, you know, and find out for yourself which way spins which way in order for the energy to move in each direction. So, you know, spend a minute or two, or just 30 seconds even, seeing it spin one direction, and then stop it and spin it the other direction and see what feels right for you. You know,
You know
another
what's
thing you can do is just rub your forehead right here. Just do that for like 2 minutes a day. That will also stimulate the energy, because by putting your hand like this, you are focusing the energy here. And so it's sending more energy, it's stimulating it. What were you about to say? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I'm definitely going to implement that. I've just been doing different research, and so thanks for that. You know,
Yeah.
Jim as well. he's always dropping gems. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's what we're here for, man. I mean, this is
Mhm.
the highest priority in life for me, and for anyone else who's aware of it, you know. So, of
Yeah, well,
course.
I hope y'all all have a good night, and
Yeah.
I'll catch you next time. Catch you in
Yeah,
the Discord.
absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, so throughout the rest of this month, go out and do these different exercises, and the last Wednesday of the month, we'll get together again and do just the exercises and questions and things. And along the way, you know, feel free to drop things in the Discord, and you know, there's also a voice chat in the Discord, so you know, we could all get on a call or something sometime if you know anybody's ever free. Somebody can just, hey, who wants to jump on a call? Whoever's available, we can, you know, get on a call and talk about what we're experiencing and things. Um, yeah, it doesn't have to always be like me teaching or anything like that. But yeah, Marquez and Santana, y'all have something new or those hands from earlier?
Yeah, I got something new.
Okay.
Two things. The first thing is like 2 times in a row when I astral projected in a dream, I went to a certain place that was in outer space, and it was just like it looks so weird. Like it kind of like a 2-story house, but it was flat. There was no roof, but I couldn't see inside of it. There was no stairs, but I could still freely move between the floors. It was a 2-story, like just building, and it was in the middle of space. Before I went to it, before I traveled to it, I saw the stars and everything around it. But then after I did that, then I traveled to it. It's like I don't know how, but in my dreams, how I astral projected it, since I know myself that I struggle with it, then I used my super conscious mind to help me actually do it. And after I did that, well, then I just projected out into a dream, into that space that I just said, and then I had, I guess, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like a little female voice just directing me and telling me what to do, how to help me. What happens if I go to certain places and things like that, and all that was happening while I was in the dream too. And also, I teleported into a game inside of that dream. So yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, more evidence of exactly what was going on in all those other previous dreams. More growth, more progression, more awareness within your conscious mind. And what that's going to do is produce greater awareness in the subconscious and superconscious minds, which all is going to produce greater self-awareness, awareness of who you are, where you're come from, what you are doing, and where you are going. This is beautiful. As you
All
move
right.
through the game of life.
Yup. And I also wanted to talk about the willpower while you were still on that subject. Like if I were to say I will do something inside of my head, will that still count?
I would say it out loud. I would say it. I
Uh
mean,
huh.
if you know, if you're not by yourself and there's other people around, and you don't want to, feel weird or anything, yeah, say it in your head. The intention is the main thing, but invoking it out loud has an effect. So as much as you're able to, I would definitely suggest saying it out loud.
All right. And I also wanted to say like if I said out loud, I will do something at a certain time. If I do it at like a few minutes earlier, would that count as breaking down my will?
Wait, say that again.
If I were to say I will do something at a certain time, but then when that time comes, I do it a few minutes earlier, would that count as breaking down my will?
No, no. I mean, you're still doing it. If anything, you're doing it earlier.
Yeah,
It might
that's
be
a
if,
question
if
I've
you do it a
always
few
asked
minutes earlier,
myself.
then say out loud, I am choosing to do it now instead of waiting at the time I appointed to it.
Man, I never even
It's
thought about
just
it like
it's
that.
just if you say I will do this at 4 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock comes around, you're like, I'll do it tomorrow. Like, I mean, that's kind of breaking down your will. But I mean, you can still salvage some of it and say, I will reassess and do this tomorrow, and then tomorrow follow through with it. I mean,
Hmm.
it's not as strong, but it's not as weak as just not doing it at all. you know.
Yep, yep, it's
Yeah.
showing, it's
Yeah.
showing. And I'm trying to, what are some other strange things that I was doing in dreams that I never did before? Oh yeah, one of those things is anytime I always thought of my discipline, like me being disciplined, I always saw myself doing push-ups. So
Mhm.
then when police actually showed up in my dream, they just flat down dropped on the ground and just started doing push-ups right in front of me.
Nice.
And so
Nice.
that was a little thing that
Yeah, that's
cracked me up.
evidence of what? What's because push-ups we already said is strengthening, right? A mental muscle that's strengthening. What mental muscle is strengthening? Your discipline is
Actually
growing
calling
stronger.
me. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I heard you. That's my bad. My friend just started calling.
Oh, you're
See,
good.
now
You're
I
good.
can't hear me. Let
So
me
yeah,
check this.
your discipline is strengthening. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, discipline is starting to show, and I am push-ups, push-up, push-ups. That will represent me strengthening my mental tools.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. Well, strengthening is primarily the discipline. Your discipline is growing stronger.
Mm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Your discipline itself is growing stronger, which has a strong correlation with willpower. You know, you see a policeman on a horse, yeah, you really doing something now.
Hmm.
Because a horse represents willpower, right? So,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
Also, one time at the end of my dream, wow, wow, I turned into a giant gorilla while I was climbing a mountain. And then
Hmm.
after I got to the top, the sun just started beaming on me, just beaming. I saw the sun, it was beaming. And then I went like in a third person view. I just saw my whole figure while the sun was beaming on me. And there
Yeah.
was like colorful lights coming around me. And then I woke up.
Man, you
That
are
was the
having
end of that dream.
tremendous progression and success, man, spiritual success, you know. The monkey mind transcending over an obstacle, and then thus after overcoming the obstacle, you are experiencing and receiving more superconscious awareness, more spiritual awareness. That's amazing, man. That is amazing, man.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah, I
didn't know
think
about
Trisha
that.
has a hand up. Yeah,
All right, bet.
my sister's name is Trisha.
Huh.
Oh no, I wasn't putting my hand up. I was applauding
Oh,
Kez and
oh, okay,
congratulating
okay.
him. Yeah.
Gotcha. I just saw the hand. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
All right. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share or ask or
Yes, yes, yes. I
comment?
would like to ask one simple
Yeah.
thing. Other than me telling people the practices that they can do to create an experiment, not an experiment, to create an experience to
Hmm.
know what I say is true, is there anything else that I can say or do to prove to them that what I say is true? Because a lot of the things I be saying to people, it just goes on deaf ears. When the type of stuff I would say to people, like oh my gosh, every single time I say something that's metaphysical, a teacher applauds me for it because they all think I'm beyond my years or stuff like that. But then when I say it to a kid or somebody of my age group, they'll just laugh it off, laugh at me or just ignore it. So I'm
First, let
trying
me
to.
ask. It's a very easy, simple answer. But first, let me ask, why do you have a strong desire for them to know what you're saying is true?
Why do I have a strong desire? I have
Yeah,
a strong
where's
desire.
that coming from?
It's coming from me wanting to help them become more aware of themselves. So, because like every time I see them, for some reason, some of the times, so mostly all the times, I'll see them as an aspect of me. So that's another aspect of me that's not fully healed, that's not trying to be their best self. It's just another person going
Okay.
by day-to-day life, just doing them. But then I constantly try to remind myself, yeah, that's their life experiences. They are constantly and consciously choosing to let this happen.
Mhm.
So yeah, I try to do that while also reminding myself that.
Yeah. Well, so if you didn't, if instead of choosing to listen to anything that I've had to share or others have had to share with you on
Hmm.
metaphysics, and then finding out, creating experience for yourself to find out what is true and what isn't,
Hmm.
if you instead chose not to do anything about that, is there anything that I can do to make you understand it?
Nope.
Nope.
Uh-uh.
Absolutely not. And so that brings me to the simple answer to your question of metaphysics. Metaphysics itself, it's not, meta means beyond. So it's what's beyond the physical, the spirit, the mind,
Hmm.
the emotions, you know. So it's the science of the non-physical. So how can I produce any physical evidence to the non-physical? You can only produce it for yourself. You know what I mean? Now I've talked about astral projection and lucid dreaming, but and for anyone listening who hasn't ever experienced that, they currently don't know whether it's true or not. They may have a level of belief of whether they believe it to be true or don't believe it to be true, but you've now experienced these things. You've created your own evidence, right?
Yep.
Now, can you give me your experience, your inner level experience
Of what?
of your lucid dream? You can tell me about it,
Lucid dream.
but
Yeah.
can you show me evidence of your lucid dream?
No, actually, I don't think I can.
Yeah, but you've created evidence for yourself.
Uh-huh.
Can you show me the evidence of your strengthened concentration?
Nope.
Yeah.
I could tell you it
Can you
though.
show me the evidence of how powerful your visualization is?
Nope.
Exactly. So you can't provide me with any evidence. The evidence must come for yourself. You must do it for yourself. That's why, like, I have people all the time on TikTok and stuff say, "Oh, that's not true. This and that, this and that." And, I mean, you just laugh it off. I mean, I can't do anything but laugh it off because I can't do anything. I can't sit there and here's some empirical evidence of lucid dreaming. They've never experienced it, so they can only choose to believe it or choose not to believe it. It may be a strong belief or a strong disbelief, but until they experience it for themselves, that's why, James was talking about, he says, I really like your approach because you give applicable approach. You provide a way to apply it, because that's the only purpose. Why share the mechanics of it if I don't share how you can discover the evidence for yourself? Because it's an experiential science. You can only prove or disprove things for yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
with your friends and things, I would suggest letting go of the attachment of helping them. You know what I mean? Like me, like I've loved watching you grow, Cass. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like I was just when you were explaining that question right there, I was sitting there thinking, like, man, on day one, this would have taken 10 minutes, you know. And I would have been very patient and allowed you to kind of, go through and how you go through the explaining of it, like early on. But your level of concentration has grown so much, and your understandings have grown so much. Your conscious, I mean, I see it, and then your dreams also reveal it. And but if if today was the last day we ever had a conversation, and I never heard from you again, and you had no desire to pursue any of this for yourself anymore, I would be completely fine. I would be completely unattached to that, because I've come to a point in teaching long ago. I've come to this point a long time ago that if someone wants to learn, whether even just from me or other places, I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing. I can't force anyone to learn anything. I can't force anyone to understand anything. I can provide something, and if someone shows that they are worth my time and attention, by putting forth the effort, whether it's, I'm not saying people, have to do the things that I suggest or do the things that I say, but if you have a desire to grow, that's it. I could
Mm-hmm.
sit there, you could sit there and never again do anything that I suggest ever, but you continue to have a desire to grow and put forth the effort in all these other ways. I don't care. It doesn't matter if you're growing from me or not. You're still going to be worthy of my time and attention and energy. And so that's mainly what I focus upon is a person's willingness and their efforts. So to the
Willingness and
friends of
effort.
yours who
Mm-hmm.
who actually listen to what you have to say and have any sort of interest, pour into them. To the ones who, wash it off and throw it off, then, let them go, let them be. But at the same time, don't let, if you feel compelled to share something, share it, because you never know when something you say to someone today, they may move away to a whole from Washington to Florida tomorrow. That kid may, and he may have seemed like he never gave two shits about anything you ever said, but then 20 years from now, when he's 35, he may be sitting at his dinner table eating dinner, and something you said in in school, back in grade school, resonated with him and planted a seed that he's finally just now understanding 20 years later. You know what I mean? And so you never know when some seed that
Mm-hmm.
you plant in someone takes root and sprouts. So one, don't let it discourage you from sharing the information, understandings, and knowledge that you have to share with others, but also don't be so attached to them needing to see the value in it that you see.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome.
Just thank you for that. Yep.
You're very
Just
welcome.
thank you for that. I
I
gave
mean, I understand because you see the value in it, and so you
mhm.
see how that can affect and help the people around you. Trust me, it
Yup.
was very hard. Exactly what you're going through, I went through, but because I went through it, it helped me to realize and get to a point of, not just complete unattachment, like I don't care. What I mean, like I said, if you decide, if I never talk to you again and you decided to, I don't give two shits about this. It's not that I wouldn't care about you no more, but I would not let it affect me to where it's like, man, Kez, he gonna get this learning today. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna try to force you. It's like, okay, that's his choice. Beautiful. It was amazing while we experienced things together, and and there are other people for me to continue to pour into. You know, so I would suggest that kind of perspective and approach to it, because
Okay.
it sounds like you have a long road of not only your own growth and development, but also teaching and sharing others along as well, to walk down a similar
Mhm.
path and understand themselves and grow as well. So the
Mhm.
sooner you kind of get into a similar perspective, the easier it'll be for you,
Yup.
and the more effect you
Like,
can have.
mhm. Ain't that the truth? Ain't
Yeah.
that the truth? Because when my friend was going through something at his house and at school, both at the same time, all I told him to do, I told him to do this just like 2 times. I had no idea this had such a huge impact on him. All I told him to do was to just breathe.
Mhm.
Take breaths every time you would get mad, anytime you would get sad, anytime you feel anything, any emotion that you don't want, just take deep breaths. And then after that, comes to find out he's starting to remind me to take deep breaths. He's starting to remind me to take deep breaths when I
Yeah.
need to. He's doing it right. And not just that,
Beautiful.
I never talked to him personally about it or got into depth with him, but he even started doing meditation on the things that he can improve on and on the
Yeah.
things that he can learn from, on the things that he can learn from his life experiences. Like that was an amazing thing.
Nice.
That just made me so happy. And then
Beautiful,
another
man.
friend of mine, who he was the main one who didn't believe not a thing, not a single thing I said, and his leg was hurting. So I gave him a simple exercise. It wasn't even a spiritual exercise. I was telling him just to stretch, showing
Hmm.
him a way to stretch, showing him how to stretch. After he did it, it helped him. His leg
Hmm.
wasn't hurt no more. He started becoming a little bit more open-minded to what I say. But
Hmm.
yeah, to be honest, that's the only reason why I'm hanging around those people still, because
Hmm.
I don't got no ties to them other than me wanting to help them and me liking
Hmm.
basketball. I only
Yeah.
started to like basketball because of them, and I
Yeah.
only started to wanting to help them because I got to know them personally, not just on a physical plane, but I started to grow attached to them, and because of that, now I want to help them grow. I want to see their progress.
Yeah.
But just like you said, if they're not wanting to progress in the self-awareness journey, or if they're not wanting to progress in the way that I see it. I know the way I see it is not always the right way. Shoot. But if they're not wanting to have an open mind to what I say, then I might as well just let it go.
Hmm.
And that's probably going to be one of the most hardest things for me to do.
Really?
Yep,
And
just
and
releasing.
um on that note, with the release, the
Mm-hmm.
basketball, that is a great controlled environment for you to practice your visualization. When you're about to play basketball,
Mm-hmm.
on the way to the court, just see in your mind you making plays. See yourself making plays. See yourself getting steals. See yourself getting blocks. See yourself making dime passes. See yourself making the shots. See yourself crossing a defender. See yourself making the plays, and then the release is once the game starts. Because once the game starts, your attention isn't on the future plays you're going to make. It's on the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good way to practice visualization as well.
You know what? Yeah, that is a good way, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
start doing that. I'm gonna start doing that because like last year, every single time I went to sleep, all I think about was basketball. I always visualized me doing these cool moves never did before, me
Yeah.
always hitting every single shot. And after I visualized that, I just found myself practicing in basketball more and me getting better more and me doing those moves that I visualized.
Mhm.
And to be honest, I had no reason how I got this much better. I thought it was just because I was not visualizing because I was practicing. But now that I think about it, it's because I did manifest it. I just wasn't fully aware of it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah, that's something that happened to me that I'm happy and proud of, and I'm learning to do that again right now.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Hmm.
All right. So Santana, is that the same hand as before? Or do you have a new question or thought to share?
Can you repeat that? What did you say,
I
Tara?
didn't. Your hand was up, so I didn't know if that was the same one as before or if you had something new.
Oh, yeah, it was. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay. No, you're fine. You ain't gotta apologize. I just didn't want to miss it. I thought I just didn't want to skip over or not acknowledge it if it was.
Oh.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of you and everything that you've shared, and hope you receive something of value that you can apply into your own life and incorporate for yourself, for your own progression and growth. And as always, to stay connected in the Discord. I mean, I love waking up or coming back to it and seeing there's 13 messages in there. Um, Especially when I don't have quite the time to get to dream, someone else can before I do. So it's beautiful because it is important, to get an interpretation to your dream as soon as possible, so you can start applying that message as soon as possible. But yeah, so let's stay lit with that, and then we'll get back to the Q&A the last Wednesday. Or wait, let me just double check real quick what day that is in relation to the holidays. Okay, the 28th. Okay, yeah, this is the 28th, and then the 4th, we will have a new lesson. So this wraps up the visualization, and then we will have a new lesson on the 4th. I haven't quite decided exactly what we'll go into. Um, I'm thinking. Let me see, because I have the Bhagavad Gita right here. So I was just reading it earlier today. So I was just reading it earlier today. How many chapters are in this? Oh yeah, it's a lot.
What prompted you to bring up that book, if I might ask?
In the like today, just now, or
Or before, yeah, like, did you recommend it for everyone to read?
not necessarily everyone. Last week, one of the mentees asked about if I had a book to suggest to them, and I asked what is it they were wanting to focus on the most, and they mainly just said like I forget exactly what they said, but it was in essence like just living the right, doing the right actions, like pretty much like right thinking, right actions. It was funny, just like the way they said it. I was like, oh, you need the Bhagavad Gita for sure, because it's exactly laying that out. It literally says the words right action. But they were saying like just general like spiritual growth and like doing the right things. And
Got
so
it, like the concept of dharma.
yeah, and so I was like, oh, well, shoot. I mean, my favorite book of all time. Well, my favorite holy scripture, uh, the Bhagavad Gita. So I suggested that, and then I told them to reach out to me after they got pretty much once they got into the conversation. So after like the setting is set, so I told them once they see the words Arjuna, pick up your bow and fight, then reach out to me, and I'll explain to them what the universal language of the mind is interpreting for the first half of the dream, you know. And so like what the Pandu prince is and the shells and everything, and uh Dhritarashtra, what he represents, stuff like that. So then I was thinking, ever since I told them that, I was thinking of possibly doing like a Zoom where we just go over different holy scriptures and different chapter, like maybe the Bhagavad Gita, go through one chapter at a time, or you know, maybe 2 chapters at a time or however. Yeah, probably like 1 chapter at a time would probably be enough. But then, you know, if we're only doing once a month, that's, you know, 18 chapters. It's over a year of just the Bhagavad Gita. But yeah, it might just be like, hey, let's read this over the next month and then spend 2 weeks on it or something like that. You know, maybe something like more like that. But I'll formulate it in my mind. But I definitely eventually want to do like the Book of Revelations in the Universal Language of the Mind. Just my thing is like it can go very deep, and so it can get very extensive, or it can be very, you know, shallow and brief. So it's more so me like determining how in depth it's going to be in order to determine like what days and things it'll be and how it'll kind of formulate. So I don't know if we'll start something like that this next month or go right into the lucid dreaming course. So yeah, we'll see how this month plays out. Or something else entirely, you know, maybe life force energy, you know, lesson on that, or I don't know, anything, whatever. Yeah, maybe we could do that, do like a poll or something, or people throw out different things that they want to learn more about, and if it's a subject that I have something to share and offer on, we can do that. Yeah, I think I might do that. See what you guys want. That might be best versus what I just intuitively feel we should do. All right. Did you have anything else to share?
How was the universe created?
How was the universe created? I have no idea.
Yep. No idea?
No, I don't know how the universe. I mean, if it's infinite, there was no creation, there is no end.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
How he just pops out. How was the universe created? All right. Well, on that note, I will see you all later and leave you in peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.